Something inside me and I'm sharing it. I'm just cruising for clarity with a therapist. Hey, let me roll down the window. Hosted by Francisco Castillo. Hey, yeah, you deserve to be heard. Explore what you feel, no stress or concern. Hey, something inside me and I'm sharing it. I'm just cruising for clarity with a therapist. Let's go.
All right, quick honesty check. Have you ever caught yourself saying, I just want something calm, stable, drama-free, but then 5 minutes later, you're diving headfirst into another argument, another dramatic breakup, in another emotional tornado, and secretly kind of loving it? Yep, me too. No judgment here, friend. We've all been there. Welcome back to Cruisin for Clarity. Today, we're diving deep into something most of us quietly relate to, yet rarely talk about openly. That undeniable pull toward emotional chaos. You know exactly what I mean. Those relationships that feel like your personal Netflix special, complete with cliffhangers, plot twists, and season finales every other week. Sure, they're exhausting, but man, are they hard to quit. But why do our brains sometimes crave chaos more than peace? Why does drama feel thrilling, exciting, even strangely comforting? Today, we'll unravel exactly why emotional turbulence can seem irresistible, how we mistake intensity for genuine connection, and most importantly, how to gently shift toward relationships that nourish rather than drain us. So, kick back, get comfortable, and let's get real. Because honestly, life is challenging enough without turning love into an episode of reality TV. Let's cruise into some clarity together. First things first, let's get crystal clear about what emotional chaos actually looks like. And no, I'm not talking about that one small argument you had last weekend over what to order on DoorDash. That's just normal relationship stuff. When we say emotional chaos, we're talking about that endless cycle of intense, unpredictable ups and downs. It's the kind of relationship where you're never quite sure if you're heading toward another magical romantic evening or gearing up for another emotionally draining argument over something that honestly probably doesn't matter at all. Imagine your relationship like one of those addictive TV dramas. You know the ones full of wild plot twists, epic makeups, cliffhangers, and moments that make you say, wait, seriously? You're exhausted from all the emotional turbulence, yet every week you're tuning back in, glued to the chaos. But why? Why do we find ourselves secretly drawn back to the emotional roller coaster again and again, even when we know deep down it's not good for us? Quick pause. Be real with yourself right now. Have you ever found yourself getting bored when things felt calm and stable? Or maybe thought that if you aren't having dramatic fights, your relationship might lack passion or spark? If you're nodding along, trust me, you're in good company. That's exactly what we're unpacking today. Why the chaos is so strangely addictive, how our minds can confuse intensity for genuine connection, and how to gently move towards something that feels less like emotional ping pong and more like real satisfying love. All right, let's dig deeper. What's so appealing about emotional chaos? I mean, we've all experienced it. That dramatic high after a huge argument, the passionate makeup, the adrenaline rush that somehow convinces us this must be love. But what's really going on beneath the surface? Well, first things first, your brain absolutely loves drama. Literally, when things heat up emotionally, when you're arguing intensely or making up passionately, your brain floods your body with adrenaline and dopamine. These are feel-good chemicals that can make the chaos feel thrilling, almost addictive. It's your brain's way of yelling, hey, this moment matters. But here's the tricky part. Sometimes your brain mistakes intensity for intimacy. In other words, just because something feels intense doesn't mean it's healthy or emotionally satisfying long term. It's a bit like eating nothing but chips and ice cream for dinner. It might feel amazing in the moment, but you'll probably feel pretty terrible afterward. And there's something else at play here too. Familiarity. Our brains have a powerful tendency to gravitate toward what feels familiar, even if familiar is stressful or chaotic. So if you grew up around drama, unpredictability, or constant emotional ups and downs, your brain can start to believe that's what love looks like. Stability and calm might feel strangely boring or suspicious, like something must be missing. Quick story. I once worked with someone who constantly told me she felt most connected to her partner during their arguments. She described fights as moments of real passion, and believed the drama proved how deeply they cared. But as we dug deeper together, she realized something pretty eye-opening. That passion was actually anxiety in disguise. The arguments weren't building intimacy, they were building stress. And when she finally moved into a calmer, more stable relationship, it felt, well, weird at first. Her brain had to learn a new way of connecting, one based on emotional safety rather than emotional roller coasters. Quick reflection moment for you. Can you think back to a time when the drama felt exciting? Was it really passion, or was it anxiety wrapped in adrenaline? Because honestly, those two feelings can be pretty easy to confuse. Listen, there is no judgment here, truly. Most of us have been drawn into emotional chaos at one time or another. Understanding this attraction isn't about shaming ourselves. It's about recognizing our patterns, forgiving ourselves, and gently nudging ourselves toward relationships that feel good. Not just in the moment, but in the long run. So we've unpacked why emotional chaos feels addictive. But let's talk honestly about what all that drama really costs us. Because here's something we don't always realize until we're deep in it. Chaos isn't free. In fact, it can get pretty expensive, emotionally, mentally, and even physically. At first, drama can feel exhilarating, like you're living your own personal movie, filled with passionate scenes and intense plot twists. But just like a Netflix binge, eventually, the credits roll, leaving you emotionally exhausted, questioning your life choices at 3 a.m. The constant highs and lows don't just tire you out. They actively drain your emotional reserves, making you feel constantly stressed, anxious, and on edge. And guess what? Your body feels it too. Researchers have found that consistently turbulent relationships actually elevate stress hormones like cortisol. That means emotional chaos doesn't just mess with your mood, it's physically wearing you down. Imagine being on high alert all the time, always bracing for the next fight, the next breakup, the next emotional curveball. Your nervous system isn't built to handle that kind of relentless emotional workout. Sooner or later, it catches up with you. Beyond your personal well-being, emotional chaos can wreak havoc on your relationships. Trust, safety, real intimacy, they all rely on a sense of emotional stability. When your relationships are built on drama, you never truly get a chance to feel secure. You're always waiting for the next shoe to drop, the next misunderstanding, the next dramatic twist, and that leaves little room for genuine connection. Let's put it another way. Emotional chaos is a lot like a diet consisting entirely of candy. It feels amazing for about 5 minutes, sure, but pretty soon the sugar crash hits, leaving you tired, irritable, and frankly craving something a bit more nourishing. Healthy relationships, those with trust, stability, and emotional safety, provide nourishment. Chaos, it just leaves you hungry for something better, no matter how exciting it feels in the moment. Quick reflection break. Think back to a relationship that felt emotionally exhausting. What did that chaos really cost you? Peace, sleep, self-esteem, emotional health. And was that intense passion truly worth it in the end? And listen, this isn't about regret or shame. We've all chased emotional chaos at some point. It's human. But when you clearly see what drama is costing you, that awareness can become a powerful tool. It helps you realize you deserve relationships that refill your emotional cup rather than constantly emptying it. All right, let's talk honestly about something important. Why stability, as great as it sounds, sometimes feels surprisingly uncomfortable when you're used to emotional chaos. You know that feeling when you finally enter a calm, supportive relationship and suddenly you're like, wait a second, this feels off? Maybe it feels a little dull, maybe a bit too predictable, or maybe you're secretly waiting for something dramatic to happen, almost wishing for it. If you've been there, you're definitely not alone. Here's why this happens. Your brain actually adapts to whatever emotional environment you spend a lot of time in. If drama, chaos, and unpredictability have become your norm, your nervous system gets tuned to expect and even crave those emotional highs and lows. It's like emotional background noise. You might not even realize it's there until it suddenly stops. And when you step into stability, your brain perceives the quiet as strange or suspicious, like the calm before a storm that never actually arrives. Psychologists even have research backing this up. When people who are accustomed to emotional turmoil first experience stability, their brains often misread calmness as boredom or emptiness. It's not that the stable relationship is lacking something. It's that your brain is in withdrawal from the adrenaline and intensity it's used to. Think of it like turning down the volume after listening to loud music all day. At first, quietness feels a bit too quiet. It's only after a little time passes that your ears and your brain begin to appreciate the peacefulness. Let me give you a quick example. I once had a client who, after years of chaotic relationships, finally entered one that was calm, steady, and genuinely supportive. And at first, she honestly thought something was wrong. She told me straight up, "It feels like we're missing something. Shouldn't we be fighting more? Shouldn't there be more passion?" But as we talked through it, she realized the truth. She wasn't missing passion. She was missing anxiety. Her brain had learned to associate passion with emotional turmoil. So when she didn't feel anxiety, she worried something vital was missing. But here's the beautiful part of the story. Once she adjusted to the calm, she began feeling something she'd never experienced before. True emotional safety, and she discovered something even better. Calm wasn't boring. It was actually pretty amazing. Being able to trust her partner, relax emotionally, and feel genuinely supported created a depth of connection she never knew was possible. Quick reflection for you. Has stability ever felt uncomfortable or strangely dull in your relationships? Could it be that your nervous system was just adjusting to a new kind of emotional normal? If you're in that place right now, give yourself grace. Shifting from emotional chaos to stability isn't an instant change. It's a gentle rewiring process. Your brain and heart need time to recalibrate and learn what safety feels like. But I promise you, once you give stability a real chance, you'll find it's not just comfortable, it's deeply fulfilling. All right, friends. We've talked a lot about why emotional chaos feels so enticing and why stable relationships sometimes feel weirdly uncomfortable at first. Now let's get practical. How do we actually make the shift from chasing chaos to enjoying healthier emotional balance? Let's get real about what works without sounding overly clinical or complicated. Here are some chill, down-to-earth tips you can actually start using today. Tip 1. Spot your patterns. No judgment zone. Notice when you're getting pulled into drama, not with criticism or self-blame, just gentle awareness. For example, next time you catch yourself stirring the pot or picking an unnecessary fight, pause for a second and ask, wait, what am I really feeling right now? Am I bored, anxious, feeling insecure, or craving attention? Believe it or not, simply recognizing your own emotional patterns gives you huge power over them. Psychology confirms this. Awareness itself helps break automatic habits. It's kind of like turning on the lights. Once you clearly see what you're doing, it's way easier to choose something different. Tip 2. Redefine what excitement means to you. This one's big. Stability doesn't have to mean giving up excitement or passion. It just means changing how you experience them. Healthy excitement isn't built on chaos and conflict. It comes from curiosity, growth, and new experiences. Research supports this too. Couples who regularly engage in fresh, novel activities together consistently report deeper emotional intimacy and satisfaction. Think about it this way. Instead of chasing drama, chase growth. Plan something new and enjoyable, a weekend road trip, a cooking night, an art class, anything that adds genuine fun and connection to your relationship. Even just sharing your dreams or future plans can spark healthy excitement. Trust me, sharing new experiences builds excitement without the stress of emotional roller coasters. Tip 3. Be patient and gentle with yourself. Here's the truth. Moving away from emotional chaos into stability is a process. It's not immediate, and it might feel awkward or uncomfortable at first, but that's completely okay. Your brain is literally relearning how to experience love, connection, and safety. It's like breaking in new shoes. Initially, things feel a bit stiff and unfamiliar, but with time, they become your favorite pair. Research reminds us consistently, changing emotional patterns takes patience, self-compassion, and practice. Don't expect instant transformation, and don't beat yourself up if you occasionally slip back into old patterns. Growth isn't linear. Just keep gently guiding yourself back toward emotional balance. Eventually, it'll become your new normal. Quick reflection for you right now. Think about one simple, genuinely enjoyable thing you could introduce into your relationships this week to bring excitement without drama. Maybe it's finally doing that small road trip, starting a new hobby together, or just intentionally spending quality time without distractions. Choose something meaningful and fun, and pay attention to how it feels when excitement is rooted in genuine connection instead of chaos. Bottom line, emotional balance isn't about perfection. It's about being intentional, gentle, and open to growth. And trust me, once you get a taste of authentic emotional safety and excitement, you'll wonder how you ever settled for chaos. All right, friends, we've unpacked a lot today. Why emotional chaos feels so tempting, what it really costs us, and how we can gently move toward healthier, calmer relationships. But here's the thing, just talking about it isn't enough. Real change happens when we turn insights into action. So let's close today with a gentle but powerful challenge designed to bring you some immediate clarity. This week, your challenge is simple but genuinely transformative. The next time you feel yourself sliding into drama, maybe you're about to send a risky late night text, pick an unnecessary fight, or stir up conflict simply because things feel too peaceful. Just pause. That's right, literally pause. Give yourself one solid minute to step back and breathe before reacting. In that short, intentional pause, gently ask yourself 3 key questions. What am I actually feeling right now? Am I bored, lonely, anxious, or insecure? Is this drama really what I need, or am I just seeking attention, validation, or excitement? What's a healthier way I could meet this emotional need without creating more stress or chaos? This brief pause, this tiny window of mindful self-reflection, can completely shift your emotional trajectory. Instead of being swept up in automatic chaos, you'll start consciously choosing stability, clarity, and genuine connection. At first, your brain might push back. Maybe it'll feel strange or even frustrating. That's totally okay. Real growth always feels a bit uncomfortable at first, but stick with it. Each moment you intentionally choose peace over chaos is another powerful step toward emotional balance and genuine happiness. Remember, small changes consistently made can create massive shifts in your life. All right, my friends, that wraps up our cruise through emotional chaos today, and hopefully moved a little closer to embracing healthier, more authentic connections. Remember, drama might give you a quick emotional buzz, but genuine stability offers something far deeper and more fulfilling. True emotional safety and meaningful connection. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I genuinely appreciate every single one of you tuning in, reflecting, and growing alongside me. Don't forget your challenge this week. Take that mindful pause and lean into calm over chaos. As always, keep cruising with clarity. Take care, everyone.
Stay tuned in, I hope you're coming back. A place you can grow, vibe out and relax. Time to get clarity, time to find joy. Find your inner self, discover and explore. Ayy, yeah, cruising for clarity with a therapist. Woo!